Hi guys, it's May. So it's a new contest starting for the entire month for everybody who comes to Facebook, joins, follows me, shares, comments, interacts, as well as on YouTube. It's counting each time you do it as one entry. So I'm going to give at the end of the month 3 20-minute readings. For those of you who want to know if you won, check the Facebook. I have announced 3 winners today for the month of April, pardon me. Okay, so let's start with the egg spread. Hi guys, here is my egg spread, and for those of you who know the significators, please look at the timestamp and you can just really go right into the reading. For those who are the first ones here or who still want to understand how am I making this actually work, just listen the explanation, and here it is. I have created a spread. It is known Cat Tarot Knows X spread, but it's also applicable for on and off relationships, and even to kind of like figure out the feelings and intricacies of your relationship. Why? Because I have actually used 7 categories, and 7, right? It's a kind of like really magic spiritual number, and also the entire spread numerologically adds up to 3. 3 is like that card of union of Trinity, so it is something that can kind of like raise from the ashes, right? So I'm just trying to figure out what can work, what cannot work. As I say in my private readings, you have to understand that not all relationships are meant to be. Like when you get together with someone, everything is really nice in the beginning. We want to charm, we want to be our best, but sort of like that enthusiasm maybe kind of like falls off with time. People get sidetracked, people meet other people. So one category here that I'm exploring, the very first one, is the Magician. So in tarot, Magician is a number 1. So of course it means, is this a go? Can this relationship ever be a starter? So what is Magician doing? Magician is somebody who comes to work and he goes, okay, let me crack my fingers and I'm going to start working. What do I need to do today? Wow. And there is a task, it's a little project list, and then he starts to manifest. So it's a start before the start. So what does he want to manifest? Look at the difference. He kind of like wants to use all the available tools, right? You see all of these tools here are now floating. They're activated. So I really want to see what is in this category. This category is going to tell me if you guys had all the ingredients to make a relationship. What in this category you have? Love, devotion, family, kind of like sharing. Then I say, yeah, like really good ground. Like there is like a great foundation for this. But what if you have, let's say, love and then lack of reputation or lack of family or jealousy? Then obviously, that's going to have issues. Sometimes it's just like downward negative. So the things that are supposed to help you are just basically things that are tearing you apart. And sometimes you have all but one element, and that one element seems to be important. It is like having 4 tires for a car and have an engine and have windshield and have all the other windows. Name it, rename it, and the key is there. And you start with a key, you try to crack it, and you realize, whoa, I don't have a gas. So you're not going anywhere with there. So this is why sometimes we feel that the one night stand was like more promising than it was, and it wasn't. It actually haven't ever been there. Maybe at the time and place it seemed kind of important, and it hasn't been important in a global kind of like scheme of things. And we as women, especially women, and even some more romantic men, and I would tend to think that these are the men who are actually coming to these tarot sessions with me. They're like lesser percentage, but there's still 25% of men over here. And I think these are quality men, and I wish that they actually speak up a little bit more, because people who connect with tarot really want to find out the real answers, and they really want to be in touch, or not only with the others but with themselves. So this is the category number 1. Category number 2, I picked this angel. I think it's Michael, who is trying to, I think, in biblical terms, merge wine and water. Well, that's not a really big deal. But here in tarot, it's basically talking about trying to merge two different things. So, of course, in a relationship, there are two different people. And even if you get along, you still have your own intricacies that might not really fit properly, right? So, what's basically happening here is, okay, let's put this together. Let's create this passion. Let's create this growth. Let's create this like solid emotions that we can kind of like step in. However, I'm asking for this card to be reversed. Why? In this category, I want to find out what doesn't work. What kind of like has to be fixed in order for things to kind of really work out. You see, in this after tarot, this angel is kind of manifesting. You see, one is connecting with emotions, another one is connecting with the sky. So literally you're getting, I mean, I love you as the sky is high and I love you as the sea is deep. Kind of like everything, kind of universal. And it's like still this like beaming with reaction. So what basically we're going to find out here is like if things that you have to build are sort of unbridgeable, if they can be built. So then I'm taking Queen of Wands, forget the horoscope associations. Of course, when I do Golden Dawn readings, I have to take everything in account. But even at that point, I'm just trying to see more or less personalities. But here I'm looking at how we really want to be seen in a relationship. So that's a significator for one party, generally for ladies. And if there are two ladies, then I put two Queen of Wands. If there are two guys, I put two King of Wands. So don't get all upset that this kind of represents fire signs, because when we start dating, we are all fire. We all start with fire, right? And it's kind of like fun, it's passionate, we are outgoing, we are playful, we are going out. Even if you're a homebody, you will go out. Even if you're a recluse, you will go out. Even if, you know, you generally are not very sexual, you'll still have sex. So this is talking about being a little bit different. This is our dating selves, right? So you see here, she has this like beautiful flower, right? And the kitty cat that is right now connecting to her. See, it's kind of like, okay, where do I move from here? Am I kind of staying in my element or not? So here is my communication card. I'm trying to figure out, so in this category here, pardon me, with Queen of Wands, I really want to see what your partner, how did your partner perceive you? So, right, like, I mean, you know that people are generally not really straightforward, and you can go as far as that they're not being honest. So they don't really tell you. They kind of tell you sort of medicated version or kind of sedated version of what they think. And kind of like they don't express generally things that they don't like. So you really don't know what the real opinion is. You just know what you heard. So this is basically telling us what your partner saw in you or how he saw you reacted. So kind of like get this perception they had from their side. Here with 8 of Wands, this is my communication card. With this card, I actually really want to see the intricacies of energies. So this can mean how did you communicate? This can mean how basically, how well do you mesh, right? So in this kind of like position here is showing, okay, are you firing back? Because these wands are falling back, the communication is coming your way. Are you communicating right back? And is this effective communication? So now this is a second significator, right? And this is also same thing. I picked the fire sign, basically significator, because the other person also wants to be seen as cool. This guy wants to be seen, oh my gosh, I'm so charismatic. She kind of like likes me, and you know, I am her king. And kind of like they want to feel this way. You see, kind of like he here has the little salamander, kind of just making his little first step, and here he's holding the salamander basically in his palm. Salamanders basically signify fire. Interestingly enough, even though they kind of reside in the rain, long time ago, in like 13th, 14th centuries, when they were creating these cards, they just saw salamanders jumping out from the fireplaces because they were kind of like be around there, and they thought they were fire animals, and that's how they were actually connected in tarot to fire. So And then I took Judgment. And Judgment is literally for me to feel out how karmically you basically are reacting. Because I also do karma readings. And in karma readings, I can totally see if people are repeating certain patterns, if they're bringing them from the past lives, and that's my past life reading. And it's kind of like it's easier to understand what's happening. But in this reading, I cannot go in 20, 30, 40 minutes of that. So I'm just trying to get at least an overview. So Judgment card is talking about a situation that has been evolving. And maybe it's even dead, but it's come back to be alive just for rendering this opinion. So this is more or less a cosmic judgment, a karma card, right? So here are the two phases of that, right? Here it is like, we are here. What? Have it been good or not good? Is it make it or break it time? And here it is, okay, some of you are just going to be dead, right? So your relationship, it shouldn't go forward, or it should go forward. And this is what karma is saying, right? So I know that we all want relationships, but sometimes it's also good to get closure. And lastly, I'm picking this card, Four of Wands, because this is that celebration card, moving to the next stage. Four corners being solidified. So now, some people say this is a marriage. It just means the next step. It could be reunion, it could be reconciliation, it could be just quality of your relationship. It's not lived happily ever after. Yeah, some of us have been brainwashed with that. You know, it should be called what it is, crap. And please, mothers, don't read these like bad stories to your kids, because if you look how those stories were in their original form, they were not kind or nice at all. So this is just basically saying, are you going to go to the next stage with this person? Because marriage, after all, is just the next stage. There are many marriages that are not working out because you're just starting to build from the scratch. So when I say sometimes in my readings, well, this one phase has to end, another one has to start. So this could mean you're going from dating to steady, from steady to engagement, from engagement, so and so forth, so on. So you see this kind of like movement in this phase is exactly that. You're going from the celebration, I say, okay, we are giving this a try. So in this category, I'm exploring how well you guys are going to do. So when I do all of these categories, then I sort of like look at the intricacies and how this works. So if category, which is supposed to be the glue, is just not forming the glue, no matter how much you want, you're going to fall apart. You can still stick together, hold on to each other like for dear life. It's not going to work out. And it's good to know. So guys, hopefully this is kind of more understanding the categories. Check it on my website as well if you want to see this video again. I'm going to post just a short clip there, but also explanation of each card is over there. And if you want to order this X spread, then you're getting energies that are just between the two of you, not these generic energies that I am actually explaining on my site. The difference is like here there are many people, and so basically some people are cross watchers and they bring their energy. So sure, it can give you some general opinion and you might see it here. Most of the time people do, but to get really the energy between 2 or 3 people, please contact me for a private reading. The prices are on my site, so visit me there at www.cattarot.ca. Thanks, love you. And guys, if you want your spread that is still on the special, it is $45. So please contact me. My information is in the description on the site, or go on my website www.cattarot.ca. Hi Pisces, your turn. Let's see what's going to happen during the month of May with your ex, or on and off. And actually this reading is also very useful for people who just want to see if they have any kind of hesitation with their partner, to really see what is in their head. Okay, so Pisces, May 2017. Let's see, Pisces, May, what's going on? Pisces. If you guys didn't see the intro, Pisces, May, please do. It's kind of really important to understand these categories, and that way you can really follow up as if you are just right here at a table with me. So okay, the Magician. Let's see kind of the toolbox. Oh yeah, I actually added something else this time around. I took it from my old deck, kind of the significators. So I have the same significators in here, other than King of Wands, which kind of I have here to represent. So somebody lift King of Wands from my deck. And so I put Nine of Wands instead, which kind of also could be a good significator for somebody to chase us. So let's see what basically we have in front of us. So the Magician. You're starting with the Tower. Some kind of shakedown happened, Pisces. If that's in your toolbox, actually this is not bad being in a toolbox. It means if something hasn't been done properly, this is a good opportunity to kind of look at it and do it properly. So this is somehow ability that you have with your partner to regenerate. What needs to be glued? Whoa, Devil. Ooh, I don't like this combination. So it was like highly intense relationship with lots of lure, codependency. But there is also recognition and understanding, well, you know, this kind of didn't go well and I have to break this, and kind of like you really want to work on this. You never want to feel that you're so dependent on the other person, because you're understanding this is not love. Love doesn't have that intensity. Like this is codependency when it has this intensity. Love has this honeymoon phase where everything is like chirpy and rosy, but then you go down to friendship, then you go down to kind of like understanding like we are a team and we like to be together, right? So you go from love to like, and like is what glues people together. So how you're being seen? You are being seen as the one who rendered the decision. Sort of blind decision, maybe the wrong decision, but you see, Pisces, this is Moon, this is you. And kind of like make this decision with your head, not with your heart. And maybe you're blamed for that. The communication. Okay. There is sort of like, I mean, pretty empty party, but somebody is happy at this party, sort of like maybe guarding a little bit and saying, you know what, I am pretty happy where I am right now. The partner, and again, the partners can switch, so you kind of like know which one is which. The partner, Pisces, would like to have this cup of love, and now combined, this could be the partner that is offering something and telling you you'll be very, very happy with me. That's like right off the bat, right off the gate in the first week, like this week. But Judgment is saying, be careful. This could be a little bit too much to handle. It is kind of too much of passion, which we see here from the Devil and the Shakedown. And are you sure you want to go and continue? Because you might break down under this weight. Another thing that I don't like about it, it's like 1-9, 1-10, kind of like all or nothing kind of a thing, right? So let's see, as far as reunion. Well, you know, there's certainly a friendship. There is certainly kind of like an offer on the table. Kind of like moving in a very kind of a grounded level. Real level-headed, but in a sort of like very boring way. And boring could be good for long-term kind of a thing. So, but long-term, you are not there yet. You have this Devil energy, you have Tower energy. You cannot collapse everything and build at the same time. You have to clean everything. But like you kind of like made that separation of the two things. So I think maybe that's maybe done already. Well, in your toolbox, you have kind of feeling that maybe you've been thinking about it and again and again and again, you're just tired of it. And maybe some of you just got lonely after realizing that maybe this whole thing didn't build properly on proper foundation. What needs to be glued is how the world spins, literally. So to dance naked takes lots of guts, right? And literally is like bearing down with this person and going into naked truth kind of a thing. And I think this is healing that Devil energy. And because you have a Tower, you have Devil, and you have the World. And the World basically talks about, okay, you know what, each day it spins. If you're trying to hold the globe, you can imagine how difficult this is. And some people just get stuck instead of like being a new day, moving on. They kind of like just keep reliving in the Groundhog Day kind of a thing. It's just like over and over and over again. So being in the area that needs repair, that obviously means that somebody is stuck. You have to kind of like, I'm a gramophone, I don't know, I'm that old, I actually remember it, like a kind of would skip. It doesn't exist anymore. No, not that old ones that you had to do it. Actually, it was the electrical one. So how are you being seen? Whoa, you're seen either as a person who has a broken heart or as a heartbreaker, but also a person who is recovering slowly. So now you had a 2, now you have a 3 of swords. It could mean that you Pisces realize that this is not functioning for you because you're super sweet, but far from being stupid. And this is mental anguish, which tells me it really exists in your head, that like for you to go from a water all the way on the bottom to the head, to top of your head, means that you've been going through the stages and negotiations and talking to this person, and yeah, maybe it was just like way too much. It's just like you felt, look, I did get passion from this person, but where are the basics? Like, what do we do with that? We cannot live out of fire, right? Especially your water. So communication, again, like feeling really saddened with everything. And so going from, okay, so should we have this happiness are being offered to you, but you're really feeling saddened over here. And this can also mean the third party, but I don't see the other cards to support it. So the partner does actually want to build it, or that could be you who wants to build it, and the other person is all broken hearted. So I guess that can switch. Karma is saying, okay, you know what, the sun is setting, or, you know, that's a burnout. So that's a 10, and this is 19, and 1 and 9 is 10, and 1 and 0 is 1, so this is also 1. So again, it's like this all or nothing energy. It almost looks like with this person, you had big plans. You had this world with this person. You had the marriage plans. You had plans to build something, and something happened, and maybe relationship hasn't been built on the proper grounds. There was not meeting on the minds of the mind. So I still don't know why. See, but as a reunion is saying, this is some kind of sense of hopelessness, that healing is not taking place. It looks like you have been injured, Pisces, and you are not healing. This is like pain in heart and in head, like you're processing, you're still repeating the things that happened, and you keep self-injuring yourself, and most likely you're thinking about is like really good times that happened before, and like it's just shocking contrast. Well, somebody wants to be single, somebody wants to firm up to be single. This is kind of single, and kind of like you were able in this relationship kind of karmically to walk away. So I guess this world that is being stuck here, and that's why you're able to say, see, this is really good. This kind of like means healing codependency, where even when you get stuck, that, oh my gosh, I want this guy, I want this woman, I can just all think about her, blah 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 blah. But you do get it. You see, the swords are saying, okay, I do get it, this was not good for me, I have to walk away. And you grind your teeth, it's hurting like hell, but you're walking away. So just like in your box here, it said like, look, you have this ability to just call it quits. You see, this is also talking like that there was some kind of self-imposed lack of communication or miscommunication, or somebody just propelled themselves on a cross and saying, oh, okay, declare me a victim, and kind of like whining a little bit, maybe getting some kind of sense to their heads, but still kind of like feeling not resolved, not mature. And that's the person who was not letting go. So like this kind of basically shows me 3 major arcanas here. Yeah, and you're feeling overly emotional. This is your card as well, Pisces. You're just not being yourself. Just like the whole month. This is in the 3rd week. Communication, it's being cut off. It's either being cut off, like 2-edged sword. You're either going to cut it off that way, or it's going to start cutting deep inside, and you'll be cutting either the person off, or you're going to be just cutting through some kind of issues and trying to get to the truth. Yeah, now this says offer is not being taken. So whether this person has given you an offer. So now we have a page and queen over here. This talks about a very immature kind of like relationship that is no longer a relationship because somebody wants to be single. and somebody's like really deciding to put themselves into that self-punishment, even though if it hurts, and just like walk away that way. Karmically, yeah, it's giving up energy, passions gone. Again, 9, 10, 1, 9. It's like closing up and down. This must be this relationship was very stressful for you. And look, in a reunion, you're getting reunion. It's just like somebody really, really wants it. And I think it's your partner that really wants this. And like there is nothing to actually support it. Now let's see the last week. So what is good thing about this relationship that you actually finally are feeling like yourself. You're finally feeling, see, like this is like Pentacle, 9 of Pentacles and Queen of Wands, like feeling, coming back to yourself, going back to how you should be feeling, that you're going towards some kind of like goal. Yeah, you see, what would need to be repaired here is everything. Like everything has to be like, you're back on this tower energy, like it has to be repaired, and it cannot be the cup energy. This is certainly nice that somebody's offering you a cup and somebody's saying, oh, I'm going to love you forever, but where is this energy? And that's why you have this 9 of Pentacles here, because this energy that actually can make it long term, which person did kind of promise, will promise at some point, it's just like not there. This is like really important. This is kind of resource given, but it's in your category of not working. So how you're being seen, you are being seen kind of like looking in a distance away from your partner, looking what is your world. So at this stage you're getting out of your sorrow. In a communication, you have a communication either delayed or stopping. The partner, okay, the partner is out of balance, not gluing together. Judgment is saying passions are gone. So now again you have the Page of Wands and Queen of Cups reversed, so the couple is not there anymore. And yeah, it's saying this would take enormous patience and enormous effort to make this grow. So guys, you will be the ones dealing with your own issues, getting rid of this codependency, learning how to move on. And this moving on might come through being somehow like self-imposed sufferer, let's say it, but you will go definitely through motions of indecisions. What do I do about it? I still feel I can have this happiness with this person, and most likely this person might communicate with you and promise you a whole bunch of things, but it's not going to work, because you understand, like, I mean, this whole connection doesn't have a proper glue, and then you're going to see it yourself. Even if you somehow connect, you're going to realize it doesn't have ingredients for hope. And in spite of the promises, it looks like the guy or the partner is just a really big, passionate talker. So Pisces, please tell me, what do you think about your partner, and how is like this month going? Thank you very much. If you want a private reading with me, it's different than this. It's only your energy. Keep in mind that this might not even relate to you, even though you are a Pisces, that you have to check the other signs as well. Okay, thank you very much. Love you.